Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are now on episode 51 of the series, and in the last episode we saw World War IV against the fascists and the communists, but the fascists lost, and a lot of leaders, dictators, are in the capital city of the Red Team. And, after the war, we saw some new countries form. Like this old country that was here before. This country that was invaded by the pink Liberia. And this got released. I don't know what country that is. We also saw the formation of Victoria. We also saw, and that was already there. I forgot what happened. We also saw a new country being released. We also saw the Unitarians of Indonesia expand their country quite a bit. And in this episode, we are gonna see a development, an interesting little development. There's been secret developments in Florida, in the Floridian country. Where are these secret developments? Well, they are called non-nuclear high-radius bombs. And how many do they have? Well, they have 2 of those non-nuclear high-radius bombs, or non-nuclear high radius bombs. The NNHRB. They have 2 of those bombs. This is a secret that none of the allies know about. They've been working on this ever since World War IV started. And we'll be taking a look at the Red Team, where the dictators are very old at this point, and they're dying of old age, and they'll be given a proper burial in the cemetery near the prison to respect the leaders. Why did they do this? Well, they didn't want them to rot away. They wanted them to decompose. So that was interesting. Now going over to Tanzania, they recently lost a whole lot of land. As you can see, they are back to their roots. And they're on the brink of collapse. So they're gonna try to fix this problem by releasing a bunch of nations. One of which is gonna be this light blue nation. I'm struggling to find colors. So I've used so many colors at this point. But we see them releasing this light blue nation over here in Kenya. They'll be getting these provinces over here. So that's a very area that was wanting independence but didn't get independence after the treaty. So they were very violent. There's been a lot of protests in this area that have been repressed, that have been put down. So yeah, that was interesting. So they decided to give them independence before any more violence took place in this area. But Tanzania's stability is still very low. So we see them releasing this yellow country. I assume I don't have this color. Assume this hasn't been used. Let me check. Definitely not. We see them releasing this like Somalian country here. It is very close to their capital city, which is not good. But Tanzania is already collapsing, so they have to release all these nations. So we see another little nation forming. It's gonna be this pinkish country right here. And they'll be over here in Ethiopia. So that's pretty interesting. That's very, 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 very interesting on what's happening to Tanzania. Well, they're not even in Tanzania anymore, but I'm still going to call them Tanzania. Tanzania will still be able to exist. They have fixed all the problems that they got by releasing all these nations. Now they're going to try to rebuild their economy and everything. The military was not being paid, so because their economy collapsed. That's why this civil unrest was happening in the country. As for capital cities, these three nations will get some capital cities. Kenya will put their capital over here, Somalia will put theirs right here, and Ethiopia will put theirs right there. So those are our new countries in Africa. Over here in New Zealand, they also have like some very civil unrest happening. Specifically over here in their Australian territories. And it's the same reason as why Tanzania had to give up so much of their land, because their economy and military is not working. Because of the conclusion of World War IV. So we're going to see a lot of new nations being formed. I'm just trying to see if I haven't used this color. It's very hard to tell. I don't think I've used this color yet. So we see the gold country appearing. The gold team appearing. Now this country is like, this is gonna be like in Australia. Like, this is gonna be Australia. Now you may have noticed something interesting here. This area is cut off. That's for a specific reason. There's a new country going to be forming there. But the entirety of this region over here is very violent. There's been so many protests happening in this region that they had to release this country here. So that's why we see this Australian country being released. I'm just going to use the size 4 for this, just so I can fill this in quicker. There's no, like, process. This is just me trying to fill in the borders of Australia. And basically a lot of more, there's been a lot of violent protests in this area, so they had to let him go. And these people are happy they're being released, because they've been under this area for so long that they developed their own identity. Over here, with this little area, we see this area actually getting divided up. With Red Australia getting this land, right, these 2 provinces over here, and the rest of it actually goes over to the Unitarians of Indonesia. Yes, Unitarianism is still popular. I haven't forgot about this, but these people wanted to be under Unitarianism too, but the peace treaty didn't really do that well. And New Zealand is left just to New Zealand. As for their capital, it'll be over here in Tasmania. Going back over here to Florida, the Floridians are sharing their equipment with some of their allies, which include Central America, Mexico, and Canada. They share their development with Panama, so now that Central America has 2 non-nuclear high-radius bombs, so does the rest of their allies. And that's gonna do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in episode 52. Goodbye.